A reading from the Gospel of Matthew. They left the tomb quickly with fear and great joy and ran to tell his disciples. Suddenly Jesus met them and said, "Greetings." And they came to him, took hold of his feet and worshipped him. Then Jesus said to them, "Do not be afraid. Go and tell my brothers to go to Galilee. There they will see me." While they were going, some of the guard went into the city and told the chief priests everything that had happened. After the priests had assembled with the elders, they devised a plan to give a large sum of money to the soldiers, telling them, "You must say his disciples came by night and stole him away while we were asleep. If this comes to the governor's ears, we will satisfy him and keep you out of trouble." So they took the money and did as they were directed, and this story is still told to this day. Two stories, two truth claims. Which one makes more sense to you? The women at the tomb flee in a mixture of fear and joy, and they see the risen Christ, who has a message for them, a message of evangelization, the first evangelists of the good news, the first people to tell of the resurrection. And then we have those who are working against it, who devise a story that surely is more sensible, more believable, that the body was stolen, because what else could have happened? Dead bodies do not come back to life. And yet, some 2,000 years later, one of the stories has gained considerably more credence than the other, despite the fact that it goes against everything we know about the normal, natural, ordered world. There is good news. Jesus is alive, and people haven't stopped sharing that good news. I wonder why it is that you are listening and watching this sermon now on Easter Monday. It's probably because you're a member of St. James Cathedral, or you've come across us on our website or something like that. It's probable that you're a Christian. Perhaps you wouldn't quite say that. Perhaps you are still exploring the Christian faith. But someone has probably nudged you here, even if it's just me being very forceful in the church announcements each week. Somebody has told you good news. And no matter how extraordinary it might seem, you're here because of good news. Good news that has changed and shaped the world very extraordinarily ever since the first Easter Sunday, and indeed the first Easter Monday. And it's funny that sometimes being rational, something which normally I am all for, sometimes being rational and telling stories about dead bodies which stay dead, sometimes that just doesn't work out how people want it to work out. God is bigger than we can remotely ever imagine or understand, and God's love is greater and more powerful. That's the story, that's the Easter message which we celebrate and always celebrate. I bid you a fantastic, happy Easter, full of the knowledge of God's love. Amen.